Well, sorry for all of you that weren't here. You didn't get that. It was good. You should have been. So what we're talking about is creating challenges, right? So you create that challenge to say, I'm going to create a challenge against myself, right? I don't need to create a challenge against somebody else. Now, don't get me wrong. I create those challenges because to me they're healthy, right? I look, this whole thing of don't compare yourself, screw that. I'm going to compare myself to everything, and I'm going to try to figure out how to be better than them. But that's okay, because that's okay for me. If that's something that if you compare yourself to somebody else and it gets you down, then don't do it. Don't put yourself in that world. If it's something that you know that if you do and it's going to drive you and it's going to inspire you, then do that, right? Short side story. When I was in high school, I got called out of PE. It was one of my hardest classes in high school. I got called out of PE to Dan Ferguson will appreciate this story, right? All you teachers on here. And I got called into the principal's office. I'd been there before. I knew the direction. I knew how to get there. The school guidance counselor told me there was a guy on the phone that wanted to offer me a scholarship. So I took the phone call, and he offered me like a $500 scholarship to some community college I'd never heard of. And I hung up the phone with him, and the guidance counselor looked at me and said, you should consider giving that up to somebody that's going to put it to good use, right? So to me, that drove me, right? I had no idea if I was going to do it until she said that. And then when she said that, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to do it, right? Because you're stupid and you shouldn't have said that to me. But it was probably the best thing that ever happened, right? So it sent me into a direction that propelled me to, it was for law enforcement, just as a joke, right? It was law enforcement. And I did 21 years with Phoenix Police Department. So boom, done, right? I proved her wrong. So that kind of drive and inspiration works for me. If it doesn't work for you, don't get yourself caught up into it. But I'm telling you, create healthy, what you consider for you to be healthy competitions. And if it's comparing your right side to your left side, if it's comparing last month to this month, then do it. If it's comparing your volume to Tracey and I's volume, then do it if that's healthy for you. Okay? If it's not, don't do it. Okay. I sound like I'm getting feedback. Is everybody else getting feedback?
I'm going to add to that. We've got, because Brent is a big numbers person, there's going to be other people that have other hot buttons. So sometimes you might have different goals. We have people on our team that are very, very what we call blue. If you've gone through all of the color tests or whatever they are. And we've got people that maybe they want to be able to give back, or they want to be able to hit a goal where they can do different things. So you've got to make a goal that works for you. All right. Everybody's different. Brent is very business driven. So am I, but at the same time, I also want to make sure that everybody understands why they're driven. So make sure that whatever your goals are hitting, that they're hitting you, but you do have to attach them to your business. You've got to attach them to your cycles. You've got to attach them to your goals, because you can't help other people without being able to help them. All right. You've got to help yourself first before you can help other people. That's what I will say, to those that are not money motivated, but you've still got to attach them somehow. You've got to attach it to what you want to get out of it. You've still got to attach those goals somehow. Okay.
Yeah. And here's the reality in this world. It is we celebrate, the income, and the income can be your motivator, or the income can simply be a marker of the score, right? The scoreboard, right? So what's your scoreboard say? And if you want something different, you've got to do something different. And I don't mean that in a cliche way, but every single 90-day thing, Tracey and I were talking about this just a little bit ago, we kind of, we keep saying we suck at this whole 90-day program because, we keep trying to do a 90-day and, it seems like we get 30 days in, 60 days in, and we never make it to 90 and without somehow dropping the ball a little bit. But when we look at the scoreboard shows that every 90 days it is working because good things are happening. So I'm going to steal a phrase. Actually, Tracey, I'm going to hit the mute button again because I think there's some. There we go. Tracey, you're going to have to unmute yourself again when you want to come back on. So I'm going to steal a phrase from Dan. I'll give Dan credit for this because he said it today on another post. And it said, would you enroll with you? Okay, and this is leading into our next topic about how to enroll somebody. Would you want to be on your team? Okay, and think about that honestly. Would you want the person that you are, the person that's in your mirror, to be your mentor? Would you want that person, would you trust that person with the if you're coming into this business for financial reasons, would you trust that person with your financial future? Would you trust that person with your nutritional knowledge? Or would you trust that person with the fact that they know where to get that knowledge? So if you don't know where to get knowledge, then you need to learn that, because this is part of your business. There for a while, we were doing really good at it. We kind of started slacking a little bit. And I want to encourage you leaders to get back onto it. And that is, when somebody asks a question, instead of simply giving them the answer, tell them where to go. Tell them where to go. Just kidding. Tell them where to go to get the answer, right? So tell them, look, go to www.ISAFYI. Tell them to go to ISA Diary. Tell them to go to, this is a great one. I picked this one up the other day. Stupid. I should have known it forever ago. www.whyisagenics.com, right? That's a great way to get them past just ISA movie, right? But ISA movie is okay, right? ISA product is okay. All of these things are okay. Just know that you don't have to have the answer to everybody's question. You can simply send them to that answer. I use it all the time. Those of you that are on here regularly, you know it. I go to Google, type in ISA FYI, space, whatever topic it is. ISA FYI diabetes, ISA FYI gluten, ISA FYI, I don't care, TMI, whatever questions that we get on a regular basis that people ask that you're like, holy crap, I would have never asked that question. But since you did, let me see if I can show you the link to that answer. And because if you give the answer, then all of a sudden you have to become this expert. And although you might have become more knowledgeable, is that duplicatable? What is duplicatable is go to Google, type in ISA FYI, space your question, right? Done. That's duplicatable. There is nothing more duplicatable than that simple thing. And I'm telling you right now, those of you who haven't heard it already, Google's search engine is better than Isagenics FYI search bar. So don't go to Isagenics FYI and type in the search bar the question. Go to Google, type in ISA FYI space the question. And you will find these answers that you want, or these answers that other people seem to need. And then what you do is you click on the URL, and you'll click on it and it'll highlight, and you copy that URL and then you post it so that they can see it. Or you simply tell them, go to ISA FYI, or go to Google, type in ISA FYI space your question. And that's even the better way to do it. But just know that you don't have to be the expert. That's where you get the expert answer, okay? With this comment of, would you enroll with you? I'm going to give an example that actually Bob Durka brought up to me. He had a situation where somebody that was on the team got enrolled, and then they were unhappy because somebody else enrolled with somebody that was they enrolled with him, right? So they came to him and enrolled with him when they had been talking to somebody else, not on our team, but on another team. And they've been talking to this other person. This was a belly-to-belly talk. This wasn't XHP or anything else. This is a belly-to-belly thing. Yeah, we all live in small communities. And so the person goes and talks to this other person and says XYZ. And then they go to him and they talk to him, and he had a better relationship with them. Don't get mad when somebody enrolls with somebody else. here's the reality behind that. Most of the time, okay, 3% of the people that you will enroll will become a business builder, right? So if you get all worked up about the fact that somebody enrolled with somebody else and they didn't enroll with you because you talked to them once or because you said hello to them, and then all of a sudden they enrolled with somebody else and you get mad, I got news for you. You're going to spend more time being mad about that and less time moving on to somebody else. Okay? Move on. Don't get caught up in it, right? This business, everybody on the screen, everybody that who I am, we can all enroll with whoever we want. There's nothing that says who we have to enroll with. Okay? Enroll with whoever you want. If you go and somebody that you're talking to, and then they go and they talk to somebody else that they've got a better connection with, and they enroll with them, don't get all butthurt about it. It's just not worth it, guys. You've got a whole list of people to enroll. And if you don't, you should have. Okay? Tracey, I counted it up the other day. Tracey and I have enrolled just under 200 people. Okay? Just under 200 people has turned into just over 16,000 people. Okay? Understand that that's the numbers. Okay? Those are the numbers, and that's how it works. And if you haven't enrolled, and I'm not talking about talk to, I'm talking about if you haven't enrolled, 100 people, then keep rocking, right? You've got a long way to go. Many of you guys are in your first year, your second year. I know there's a team on here that talks about it, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year. You're in your learning years of this business. And if you're really, truly in this for the long run, then you'll be okay with understanding that, look, I've only been doing this for a year. And I'll tell you the other thing that happens. We forget our initial goal, right? Our initial goal for most of us is get our product paid for. Okay? We want to get our product paid for. And then we get our product paid for, and then all of a sudden it's, well, I want 10 cycles a month or 10 cycles a week, right? Well, remember, when you don't hit that 10 cycles that week, that your original goal was to get 1 or 2 a week so that you could pay for your product. And if you're over that, then you're in the green, right? These other things will come, but they will come with time. And this isn't easy, guys. This is simple, but it's not easy. This business model is simple, but it's not easy because it takes the level of dedication that you guys have to listen to me blow hard about this stuff and be on a phone call or be on a call when you could be doing other things, okay? So I'll let Tracey go to the next one of the whole don't promote don't promote other people's business, of how that works, and your social media stuff. I think you're muted, babe. Hang on, I gotta unmute her. You're muted, Tracey.
Sorry, he's gotta go to basketball practice. I was getting it all situated.
Okay.
Love you, baby. We'll see you in a bit. All right, sorry. Okay, so we're going to be heading into the next few months, a little over a year of the elections. So what I want to talk to you a little bit about is social media and how to portray yourself on that. We're going to have people with very strong opinions, and obviously everyone has their opinions. We have ours, you have yours. That's all good. We want you to obviously embrace your opinions, go forward with that, and respect whatever opinions that you have. However, if you are going to do network marketing, and if you are going to portray yourself out there for trying to relate with other people, you have got to really be neutral on your Facebook page, on your social media. We've seen this happen a lot. You could completely alienate a certain percentage of the people that might be your friends just if you put something out there that maybe they don't like. And unfortunately, it really shouldn't matter. But it does. So for the next year and a few months, I would encourage you all to be very politically correct, if you will, and be nice is probably the bottom line on that. I will also talk to you about promoting other people in your Facebook pages that maybe are on another team. Now, you might have a mentor that you really have connected with through XHP or through someone else, but keep in mind that if they are in Isagenix business, Isagenix recognition, XHP, anything like that, unless they are in Great Nutrition or they're in Team Shady, they aren't necessarily a team member of yours. Now, there are a lot of people that you could connect with and maybe that could help other people, and we don't want to restrict that. However, when you put pound signs or tag other people, you could be potentially sending your people to them. Maybe they connect with those people. Maybe they find some sort of common bond. So you want to really be careful about that. You know, obviously you want to help. That's the ultimate goal. That's why we're all here. You want to help people lose weight. You want to help people, you know, get some financial relief, energy, whatever it is. But really be careful when you're tagging people, when you're doing the Instagram pound signs, things like that, you know. And this, it can also go back to, you know, why other people might be angry, if you will, when somebody might sign up with somebody else because they found that connection. Okay, so just really be conscientious of that on your personal pages. Obviously within Great Nutrition, Team Shady, Team Evolve, I can't even name them all because we've got so many under us, which I think is just incredibly awesome. But really think about that before you start doing that. I am going to add also that make sure that when you are in the pages, that you, yeah, I said pound signs, not hashtags, whatever, I'm old. Make sure that you are not actively trying to promote or solicit within the pages. You really need to stay within the people that you have included into those pages, and you really need to do the research to add and find who put them in if somebody inquires directly to you.
Yeah, Angela.
There are times when maybe they just don't care, and there will be times when you might possibly end up with that person, but you cannot do that. You should not do that, and you run the risk of being booted from particular pages if you do that. So you just really need to be careful, be ethical about it, and think about it if somebody took somebody that you had put in there. On the flip side, I will say, and this again aligns more with the red side, if you lose people on some of those pages, it might possibly be your fault because you didn't follow up. You have got to follow up with the people that you put in those pages. You can't just dump them in there and expect them to come back and find you when they're ready. You've got to follow up. That's my red.
Yeah, she's more red than anybody knows. I have to deal with it on a regular basis. So real quick, my analogy that I've used before, and I'll tell you guys again, is this whole thing about the politics and whatever, right? Your Facebook page, as you become a network marketing professional, is your storefront. And I want you to consider one that I've used an example of before, but it's a company, and I don't know if you guys have them everywhere, but there's a company local, it's called Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is it has a religious, the owners have a religious belief, and so they're closed on Sunday, right? But you don't see them advertising that they're closed on Sunday, and you don't see that they advertise their religion on their menu board at Chick-fil-A. They advertise chicken, right? That's what they do. That's their business, chicken, right? You guys are in the nutrition business. Advertise nutrition, advertise happiness, advertise togetherness, advertise team building. If you choose to advertise something other than that, it may be at your demise. And I'm not saying that you can't be who you are. I'm just saying that if you want to be a business owner, you got to be like Corey. You just got to sit there and smile at everybody, right? He's always happy, right? That's why he's got, he's turned, yeah, exactly, Dan. You got to get that, right? You got to get the Corey look, right? I can't do it. So obviously.
I don't think any of us can.
I know, seriously, Corey's a stud. But you've got to, you've got to have, he's shaking his head, whatever. I think there's like 5,000 people that will agree with me and not with you, Corey, just FYI. But the reality is that that's what you want to promote. And that's how, Corey's done a phenomenal job of proving that point, right? The point is, if you show a positive, healthy atmosphere, that's really what people want to see, right? If he did the exact same things that he does now, and Corey, I'm sorry, I know that I know that you're on social media, but I know that you're also a very humble guy. But if he was on there and he was promoting something negative, I promise you his follower base wouldn't be what it is. He could be this good-looking guy that he is, and he could be on there, talking trash and saying negative things, and he wouldn't have the following that he has. He has that following because when he's on there, he's talking about smart, happy, collective, team-building mentality, and that's why people have flocked to his page to see that and to be part of that. So I'm just encouraging you guys, think about it. There was a post the other day that I really liked, and because I'm a network marketing professional, I didn't promote it, but I still might. I'm still thinking about it, right? It showed the 4 top running candidates for presidency, right? It showed the 2 Democrats, it showed the 2 top Republicans, and it said if you vote for any of these people, I am going to unfriend you. And then underneath it says, just kidding, I won't. I'm not 12, and I don't unfriend people because of their political beliefs, right? That's the way I am, right? I've got friends all over the map, of criminal to righteous, sinners to saints, and they're all my friends. And I might not agree with everything that they do, but that's okay. Part of being real, right? So I'll drop off of that one. But Tracey, can you mute yourself when you're not on, because I can hear background. Thanks. Sorry. That's what I've kind of offer to you on that topic. So let's see, auto ship. Okay, so we're off now back to the business side of, well, I think it's all business, but one of the other topics we're going to talk about is auto ship. As your team grows and as your side grows, your business grows, I want you to start thinking about your auto ship as your true rank. Okay. For those of you who are looking at your personal rank, you're a director or you're a 1-star. You can really do this more at 1-star, right? When you think, oh, I'm cycling 2 times a week, or I'm cycling 5 times, or I'm cycling 10 or 20 times a week. I want you to start really realizing that your personal rank is really what your auto ship cycles are. Okay. So if you go to your back office and you go under team, and then you click view downline reports, and you click that very first report that says what your it says business builder's blueprint base. I can't remember the exact name of it. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, if you click that and it'll generate that report for you. And at the very last page, it will show you what your auto ships are. It'll show your auto ships your right side and your auto ships your left side. If you add those together, okay, the combination of those two numbers, right side and left side, and if they're way off, then you can't use a true add. But if you look at that and you figure out you need 300 BV on one side, 600 BV on the other side to cycle, and you look at those two numbers of your right side, left side, and figure out how many times that you will cycle from auto ships alone, that is your true rank status. So if you're thinking, oh man, I'm a 2-star, I'm a 3-star, I'm a 5-star, I'm a 6, 7, whatever your star is, but then you look at your auto ship reports and you see, wow, from auto ships alone, I'm only going to cycle 1 time this week, or I'm going to cycle 2 times or 5 times or 10 times. That is your real rank. That is who you really are, because if you fall asleep at the wheel, that's what's really going to happen. The other stuff may or may not happen, but those auto ships that are there will most likely happen. And even those aren't guaranteed because people can change their auto ships. And where I'm going with that is, if you have not gotten all of your team members involved in the auto ship contest that we put out, get your team members involved in the auto ship contest that we put out. Because if you can encourage your team to get involved in auto ship, and they will encourage their team to get involved in auto ship, your personal cycle volume will improve. Over the course of the next 4 months, you're going to see that. I've made that post the other day. You know, success isn't a straight line, right? That was our graph on our earnings, right? It was all over the place, up, down, up, down, up, down. If you looked at that and you looked at the months, right? You look at the months down below, you will see that typically June, July, and August are lower, right? Everybody, you got people that are off of their routine because they're involved in family and they're involved in summer activities and they're involved in these things. So you're going to see that is going to happen. If you can improve the auto ships, then you will see the validity, you will see that stabilize some through those months. And that's why you're going to see us come out with our our 90-day weight loss challenge, right? That's coming. We're going to bring that back. We're going to and we're going to continue to push the auto ships, right? Do the same thing for your own personal teams. Encourage these little weight loss challenges. And you don't have to give away the farm, right? Your weight loss challenge could be a box of e-shots. Your weight loss challenge could be whatever it is to encourage your team to do that. If your team is 3 people, then you and the other 2 people get involved in a weight loss challenge or a fitness challenge of some sort. You know, you got all these, you know, push-up challenges and crunch challenges and everything else, right? Get involved in those challenges with your team of 2 or 3 or 5 people and make those challenges happen and say, look, whoever does all of these challenges, I'm going to send you all a sleep spray. I'm going to send you a something, right? Or you're going to, you know, help them with their auto ship or something. I don't know. I mean, create whatever it is that you want to create, but do something in that realm to push yourself through these summer months. And I promise you, you'll be grateful that you did that. Again, and I say this all the time, if you work June, July, and maybe August, but June, July, and August, and November, December, you could literally take the rest of the year off and you would be fine. Because people fall off the trees in January, February, March, and people fall off the trees in September and October because that's when they're getting back into the groove. And those are the months that it's easy, right? Those are the months where people enroll a bunch of people and they're all excited. You've got to keep that momentum and that excitement and that involvement through these slower months. And that's why Isogenics has NYKO in January, and that's why they have celebration in August, is because they know the timing of when the fruit will fall off the tree. And they want to get as many people engaged as they can during those times so that it's easy. The hard part is June, July, and August, and November and December. Those are the hard months to keep yourself motivated so that you keep your team motivated, right? So anyway, so auto ships, big deal. Launch week, Trace, go ahead and finish out the launch week and celebration and 90-day game. I've got the 90-day game plan email. So if you want to finish out launch week and celebration, I'll pull that 90-day email. Did you hear me? No, here she comes.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I was a little busy typing.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, I put out a challenge for next week's Zoom call. So, because I know.
What are you doing?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think everybody should come listen to Heidi. Just a thought. I see her smiling. All right. We're going to encourage people to get more people on the Zoom calls, because we really think that if people want to grow, they've got to learn. And don't think that if you don't understand everything that we're going over right now, that we didn't go through that. The reason we do this is because we probably made every mistake in the book, and we don't want you to do the same. So we will go over the same things over and over and over and over until you get it. And hopefully the people will continue to do that we've trained, and we can get more people on this, and we want other people on the team to be involved, because we can all learn from everybody. All right, so I'm going to talk about events, because that's what I do. I am a complete promoter of all of the events. I believe minimum everyone should go to the core four. The core four being celebration, which is every August. This year it is in Las Vegas at the Venetian Palazzo. It is in August. Right now, tickets are on sale for $114 because it's the 14th anniversary of Isogenics. You can still get those tickets at the reduced rate through tomorrow. So if you have questions on how to get those, go to Team Shady, go to Great Nutrition, go to the messenger pages, go to www.isogenicsevents.com. You can log in, you can get your tickets. After that, they will probably go back to normal price. There is if you don't know, which if you don't know, is crazy, but there is an after party on the last night, and Maroon 5 will be doing a concert just for the Isogenics attendees. You do have to have a celebration ticket in order to attend, so make sure that you get that. There is a business training for anybody that is manager above, which is on Sunday with Eric Worre. It's an all-day event. I encourage you to make that. A lot of times the leadership training on the first day is sometimes the best that you can get. This will only be our third celebration. Even though we have been in the business 3 years now, we didn't really buy into any of that. So celebration is the first of your core four. The second of your core four is called Isogenics University. They are all over. Again, you can go to your back office, you can find all of those, go to orders, and then manage events. Look at corporate events, you can find out where they all are. I encourage you to get to one, at least one a year. There's Isogenics University, especially if you are beginning in this business. If you're not completely okay with network marketing, which most people are not, I believe that's one of the most important things you can do to increase your business, increase your own belief, and be able to learn to talk to people. We just had one here in Phoenix. I know there's one coming up in Kansas City, and I can't remember where else. But University in Action, that's what that is. And then NYKO this year will be in San Antonio. Actually, it's 2017. Last year it was in Dallas in January. We had a great time in Dallas at NYKO. And next year it will be San Antonio. It's usually in January. And it is hard to get there. You've got kids, you've got jobs, you've got pets, you've got expenses. But I have to tell you that for every event you go to, it will increase your business and your belief. And for every person that you somehow get there, whether you drag them kicking and screaming like Brent, or however you get them there.
Go get it.
Oh, that was
it's got the Durkin name on it.
Okay, so Bob was yelling at his kids, so we got rid of that. Anyway, for every person that you get to an event, the statistics for Isogenics is that it will increase your income by 1,000 a year. We truly believe that. Actually, we believe that even more. That's why we put so much into the event. So I want to encourage you to bring your teams. We are currently discussing celebration and particular incentives for people bringing teams, and we'll roll that out once we have that figured out. But I will encourage you to make sure that you get there. If nothing else other than just to increase your belief in your business and to meet the rest of your team, because everybody here is here to help. You know, you've got different people with different beliefs, different personalities that maybe you'll connect with differently. And when you actually meet them in person, Zoom is awesome because we actually get to see people, we get to talk to people. You feel like you know them once you meet them, but it's just really incredible to actually spend time with everybody. So I will encourage you to get there.
Our dog, I love him. He's my alarm. Hang on. Sorry, we both muted at the same time. Somebody walked by with a chihuahua or something. I'm sure he was going to kill it. There, everybody say hi to Thor. He has his ball. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out there, and I was sitting here thinking about what Tracey was talking about it. So celebration. Here's what we're going to do. Right, I'm going to make a command decision for part of it. So you guys know how this happens. I know Dan's like writing this down because he saw me do this before and it didn't turn out well. Actually, it turned out perfect, honestly. It just was expensive, but that's all right. So we're going to do our, and I'm going to tell you guys this. This is most likely because of the size of the team and the blessing that we've got and everything else, but I'm going to encourage that the other executives start, you know, making these things happen for their teams. But we're going to do the $100 again, right? So if you show up, and you do the thing, you're going to get we're going to hand out the fat stacks again. So we're going to hand out $100 to everybody that shows up celebration. Right now, I know that there's over 100 people coming, right? So that's a decent stack of cash. The other thing that we're going to do is for the executives, and I still haven't figured out exactly how this is going to work, but and I don't even know if we're going to limit it to executives because what difference does it make as long as you bring people, right? So what we're thinking is, and we're going to figure that magic number out. And I'm thinking it's probably going to be 5. So if you have 5 people that you bring that are part of your personal downline, then we're going to do something extra for you. Okay. So the people that bring at least 5 of their downline, then we're going to do something extra for you. I will tell you this, for those of you who bring 5, your $100 bill will be involved in that extra, but I promise you it will be a well-earned reward. So whatever that is, we'll add that we'll include that $100 bill in that event. We're thinking maybe a little shopping action. We're going to figure something out that's going to be kind of cool, right? So get your teams. If they spend $114 on a ticket this week, then they're spending $14 essentially because they're going to get $100 back when they show up, right? In addition to that, I'm sure we'll do some sort of a cocktail event. But I can tell you this, that most likely this will be the last time we do this this level of offering, just because it's getting really expensive to make this happen. And it's okay. I don't mind it. I think it's amazing and it's fun, but I really want to have everybody else. And I say this not in a bad way, but in a really serious way. When your team when you start bringing a big team and your team gets bigger and bigger, and I would have never, ever imagined being able to bring 100 people to an event or over 100 people to an event. When you have this, and I know, and I'm convinced that all of you that are on here will have this, the excitement level for you is higher than it is for everybody else. So for Tracey and I, our excitement level is amazing, and I know April feels the same way. If any of you guys are wondering why April hasn't been on these Tuesday calls, she actually has her and Garrett are doing a church couples thing on Tuesdays, a church Bible study thing on Tuesdays. And so they've committed to that to each other. And obviously that's an important thing, way more important than being on our team call. So that's why they're not here. And April asked me to promote that out there, or just so everybody was aware that that's why she's not here. So we're going to do that. And then we still haven't decided what the event's going to be, but bring 5 people, find 5 people, drag them, bring them, kicking and screaming, and you'll be a part of this as well. So if you already know that you have 5 people, we will ask you, don't send it now, but we will be asking for who that person is that's bringing the 5 and the list of the people that you're bringing. And if they all show up, then you'll be part of the event that we're going to plan for the people that bring more than at least 5 people, 5 or more. Okay. So that's kind of the game plan. The 90-day game plan email. If you are not receiving that 90-day game plan email, this week's was done, or this 90-day game plan week was done by Herb and Patty Cepeda. And I really thought that it was important that we touch on this because they talked about objections, and they are still dealing with the same objections that we are dealing with. And they've been doing this for a whole lot longer. I think they've been doing it. Trace? They've been doing what, 10 years, 10, 11 years? I mean, they've been with ICH for a long time, almost since the beginning. So they're still dealing with the same objections. And mastering the monotony is really what this business is about. It's really about mastering that same objection over and over again. We've got a friend of ours, a neighbor friend of ours, and who knows, she's on our team, but I don't think she's on the call. But she's like, I don't know if I could just do the same thing that you guys do over and over again, as far as answering questions. And some of the questions are just so, again, monotonous. They're not unimportant. They're just the same, right? But it goes back to being a cop, right? I mean, when I was a cop, I dealt with the same level of conversations just 100 times over. So, and everybody, I think, deals with that at your work, right? You think about your work, your job, you probably deal with the same level of issues over and over and over again. The difference is that in this business, those conversations, every single time you have them, result in something, a learning experience for you, because you learn that maybe you're not as clear as you thought you were, and it can turn into an income producing activity for you on a regular basis. So get involved in that, share, talk to other people. Don't be afraid to do that, and listen to those 90. If you didn't get the 90-day game plan email, shoot me a message, send me a message, and I will send you the email. So just send me message me your email address, and I'll send it to you so you can listen to it. And it's pretty good. It's Patty and Herb Cepeda, and they're talking about the objections and dealing with those kind of things. That's probably the main topic that I think that they talk about. So anyway, that's kind of it. We'll open it up for questions if anybody's got questions. And again, I want to make sure that everybody's aware that Heidi will be helping us out. She didn't know that till she got on, but she helps out next week and with the call, and that's the game plan. So
she has to push it back for 2 weeks.
Oh, she has to push it back for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Not acceptable.
Never.
Outstanding. All right, very cool. We'll make that happen. Heidi, is that what your hand was up about pushing it back 2 weeks? Okay. All right, she's nodding. All right, no problem. Thank you, Heidi. And again, I do really seriously, I do appreciate that you're involved in that. So so we'll make that happen. But we're gonna keep this thing going, guys. And if there's questions you guys have, or if there's topics that you want covered, please let us know so that we can reach out to the people that are most knowledgeable in that area to cover that. Let me ask real quick. Corey, are you still on here? I've got my participants button up here. Is Corey still here? Oh, there he is. Corey, what's your what did you end up doing? And just so those Corey helped us with the call the other day, and he was talking about the how his social media account has maxed out his Facebook account. So Facebook will allow you 4,999 members before you cannot add anybody else to your account. So where are you at now, Corey? What's your number?
Facebook, my public page is 5,000, and then my public figure page is around 3,500, and then my Instagram is building up around 1,000 people right now.
Cool.
I'm almost at about 9.5.
Okay. All right. And then did anything change on your personal Facebook page when you got to that 5,000? Did it, what other than the fact that you can't accept any more people there? Is there anything else that's different?
No, I didn't come across anything different. The only reason being is because I think I already developed that public figure page. And I think if I would have developed that before I reached 5,000 people, it would have automatically, popped up, been like, hey, you have max friends, you need to go into a public figure page or create your own business page. But being that I already done that, nothing came up, so no.
Cool. All right, outstanding. Okay, well, thanks and congratulations on that, Corey. That's pretty cool, man. I dig the fact that you made that happen. When did you start with really developing your page? How long ago was it?
It literally took, I think, 2 months. I mean, when I first started posting my pictures, it wasn't long.
Right.
And from there, it just took off. So about 2 to 3 months.
Right. And I'm going to give you an example of something that Corey talked about, and it's kind of rolling back to what Tracey talked about real quick before we bail off here. Corey's a great example of exactly what Tracey was saying. Corey found that when he was posting these pictures, that people were actually taking his pictures and they were reposting them and driving people to his site, right? If these people that were posting Corey's picture were posting his information and they were trying to do an isogenics business, and then they were showing that off to their friends and sending their friends to Corey, and now Corey does a great job of showing, he's always got an isogenic something hidden in his picture somewhere. Think about this. You're posting this guy's picture. I'm not doing it, right? Actually, I would, because he's on my team and that's okay. But if Corey's not linked to you financially and you go off and you post a picture of this guy and you put it on your page and you drive people to his page, guess who they're probably going to sign up with? Okay. If they're digging him and you don't know him, right? These may be people you don't even know, right? You just posted his picture to your page and now there's somebody that's going, oh, wow, that's kind of cool. I want to know more about that. And they go to his page just to know more about Corey, right? But then they find out, oh, he does isogenics. I want to look like that guy. I want to contact him to find out how he looks like himself, how he looks like him, right? And there's other people, and I'll give you a great example. I'll say it right on here. Paul, right? Paul and Lynette, right? If I've got somebody on that's a friend of mine that's a bodybuilder, do I really want to be posting about Paul on my personal page? Because that bodybuilder person, instead of asking me and joining with me in isogenics, might go to him and then find the relationship with him and develop, and then he ends up enrolling them, right? Now, once I've enrolled them and once they're my team member, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with saying, hey, look, Paul's the guy, he knows, right? Or once they're on my team, then I send them, hey, look, you want to talk to a young guy that's rocking this out, let me hook you up with Corey, right? Once they're on my team, hey, you're in the fire department and you want to talk about fire stuff, let me hook you up with Michael, right? That's all good business sense because I'm hooking them up with people that know what they're doing, right? They're better at those events than I am. I want to hook them up with the most knowledgeable people. But I don't want to do that in advance of them being on my team, right? Does that make sense? because again, you got to think about this from a business perspective, guys. It's so important that you realize it from there. Okay. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. Does anybody have any questions on the topics we covered, or is there any thoughts that you want to throw out there? Oh, by the way, we've got a half Ironman contender on, Tyler Whitmore, rocked out half Ironman Oceanside this weekend. Congratulations, brother.
And he has a new baby.
And he has a new baby. Yeah, he's got that too. But he did an Ironman. Seriously, the kids know. He didn't do that. His wife did that. Come on.
Mr. Competitive, right there. Whatever.
So a little, because I know he's a modest guy too. So he went into this half Ironman, and for those of you who aren't familiar with that, 2 mile swim, 56-mile bike, and a 13.1-mile run at the end of that. And he did it was an open water swim in the ocean. So that's what he completed. He went into it sick. He wasn't feeling too good, but he went in there and rocked it out. And still, he talked about it on his personal page about being in there and being sick and leg cramping and body cramping, and knowing that he grew more during the times that he pushed himself than he did during the times that he said, oh, look, I'm going to do this another day. So congratulations, Tyler. That's outstanding job. Anyway, so does anybody have any questions on anything else that we can help with or we can touch on? Kelly D is down there getting ready to have a kid, number 4.
Yes, and she's doing a launch party on Thursday.
She's doing a launch party. Yeah, for those of you that aren't doing a launch party, she's got number 4, literally, her April Fool's joke was her water breaking for her husband, and he bought it, right? That's how close she is to having baby number 4, and she's rocking at a launch party, okay? So I'm telling you guys, do your launch parties. Do a launch party this week, do a launch party this week, do a launch party this week. It's a tasting, it's whatever you want, girls event, people coming over, do something, put something together, make it happen. You will benefit from it. If nobody shows up, you'll still benefit from it. The benefit will be you've learned something, okay? Do a launch party. Do a launch party. Did I say do a launch party? Do a launch party. Okay. Anything else, Trace? No? Okay. Any questions? I know I've said that 3 times and I keep talking, so I'll shut up this time.
Yeah, I have another call, so you need to hurry up.
I know you do. Tracy's got somebody to enroll. She's got to get on the call. All right, cool. All right, thanks you guys very much. I'll download this, get it recorded, get it loaded up. This topic's come up a couple times. If anybody wants to use this Zoom platform for a conference that you want to do, send me a message. If you don't want me on the call, no big deal. I will log on. I will turn the host position over to you. You can record it. You'll be able to see I'm logged off. I'll click off. You can record it, or you can just ask me to turn the host on and just hit the record button. I've got no problem with turning the host on, hit the record button, saving it for you and sending it to you, or downloading it to YouTube and send it to you. However you want that done. So this Zoom platform is available for anybody's teams at any time. We will make it happen. Okay. So I don't know how to assign you the host prior to the event. So I have to, I can log on as much as an hour or 2 early and assign you as the host. And then I can click off, and then you're a host until your event comes up. And then when your event comes up, you can hit the record button. So if anybody needs to use this or wants to use it, it's 100% open to anybody on the team. Okay. As long as it's not Tuesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. Okay. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody. Have a fantastic night. I'll go turn recording off.